Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to PTV World. Joining you for the news this hour, I'm Ahmed Nawaz.
And I'm Mahin Joffrey. Let's take a look at the headlines first. The Mardan District Administration puts the Manga locality under lockdown as a precautionary measure after a man hailing from the same area died of coronavirus last evening.
Two people die of coronavirus in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the first fatalities from the novel virus outbreak in Pakistan.
Foreign Office spokesperson Aisha Farooqi says Pakistan is concerned over coronavirus cases in occupied Kashmir and urges India to end lockdown there.
International financial institutions pledged to collectively provide $588 million to Pakistan to combat COVID-19. Funds will be used for establishment of isolation centers across the country.
Italy's coronavirus fatalities rise by record 475 in a day as the novel virus cases surge fast in Europe and the US.
And now for the news in detail. The Mardan District Administration has put the Manga locality under lockdown as a precautionary measure after a man hailing from the same area died of coronavirus last evening. Police officials have been deployed around Manga and on the Mardan Charsada road. No one is being allowed to enter or leave the Manga locality. Now, Mardan's district administration has locked down Manga locality after one person had died of COVID-19 and hailed from the same area. Police has been deployed on the outskirts of the Manga locality and no one is being allowed to enter or leave the locality. One person has died of COVID-19 hailing from Manga locality and Mardan's administration has locked down the area. The Deputy Commissioner of the area confirmed to PTV World that the area is under lockdown and screening of the people is taking place in the locality after one man belonging from the same area had died due to the coronavirus.
Two people have died of coronavirus in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And as we were telling you that this also happened just a few, I think last evening, Emma, that happened.
Yes, this was the first confirmed fatality from the novel virus outbreak in Pakistan. One of the patients that died in Peshawar and the other in Mardan last evening. Provincial Health Minister Taimur Khan Jagra in a tweet confirmed the death of a 36-year-old man at the Lady Reading Hospital, Peshawar. Now, earlier, a 50-year-old man passed away from the disease at Mardan's medical complex as well. Prime Minister's Special Assistant on Health said the 50-year-old man had returned from Saudi Arabia after performing Umrah. Now, different administrations take their required steps and necessary precautions to contain the spread of COVID-19. So far, various cases have been reported throughout the country and the governments of different provinces and the federal government on a whole are taking drastic measures to contain this disease. We know so far one person has died of COVID-19 and hailed from Manga locality and Mardan had been locked down. For now, further details of the province of Sindh, we've been joined by our correspondent Zameer Abbas from Karachi. Zameer, what details can you tell us about the measures taken so far by the Sindh government and also the reported number of cases?
Yeah, so far the number of coronavirus has increased to 208 as it was stated by the Chief Minister of Sindh last night. And even early in the mornings, the Chief Minister of Sindh has presided over a meeting regarding coronavirus and its latest update. And he said that it's a big challenge for the Sindh government and even for the rest of the world to combat coronavirus. And he mentioned few names like Hong Kong, like South Korea and Singapore, that the way they tackle this situation, they believe, CM said that we should also, take measures their measures in our areas so that we can also contain this virus to limited people. Now the big challenge in government and even the rest of the governments are facing right now is like local transmission of this disease from one person to another. Earlier, those individuals who were having the traveling history, they were coming from somewhere else and they were carrying coronavirus in them. But now there are many cases appearing like they were, locally transmitted from the person who have been arrived from certain countries. So the big challenge for the Sindh government is to combat this problem, how to minimize this risk of local transmission of virus from one person to another. Even now, a moment before, we are told by a source of ours that the Expo Center in Karachi can be utilized as a quarantine center for all those corona patients who are, coming from either from some other country or from locally transmitted. So to just monitor them properly, but still it has not been notified publicly. Sindh government has already banned all the markets and the restaurants as well, so people cannot go to in gatherings, and they should avoid these gatherings as well. One more thing we should, in Sindh government is announcing, like they should also raise the way to boost your immunity, how to boost your immunity so that even individuals, if they can carry a virus, that's only the way to defeat this virus is your immunity system. So they're also thinking of projecting and informing people about how to increase your boost your immunity system so that it can also combat the virus, because virus is invisible enemy of yours and you cannot combat an invisible enemy. So there are many ways inform people, tell them how to contain themselves from social gatherings. Do not go there where there are a huge number of people. Try to wash your hands and keep your sanitizer with you. Keep your interaction with the people as low as you can, and also try to use those things who can boost your immunity against this virus as well. Yes.
Right, thank you so much. Our correspondent Zameer Abbas giving us the latest of details from Sindh, where drastic measures have been taken to curtail the spread of COVID-19, and the provincial government and the federal government both are on board in order to curtail the spread of COVID-19. We'll have further details on the news of this hour, but right after this short break. Stay tuned.
Now, the Command and Control Center, Ministry of National Health Services, has said that the total number of coronavirus cases had reached 247 in the country, with addition of 60 new positive ones. According to the spokesperson of the center, 183 cases were in Sindh, 19 in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, 15 in Balochistan, 7 in Islamabad, Capital Territory, 13 in Gilgit-Baltistan, 1 in Azad, Jammu and Kashmir, and 9 in Punjab. He said the 60 new cases were being treated at hospitals besides old ones, while 4 patients had been discharged after complete recovery. According to the data shared by the National Institute of the Health, the travelers screened at points of entry were 20,008 in last 24 hours and total 1,015,909 so far. Total 115 suspected cases were reported from screening at the points of entry. The National Emergency Operations Center Helpline 1166 received 41,563 calls since January 31st, 2020, with 8,136 new calls.
Frontier Constabulary has established a quarantine camp at Qamardeen area near Pak Afghan border. According to FC Zob, Commandant FC said that the measures have been taken to fight COVID-19. He said FC and the civil administration are determined to fight the virus and protect people from it. Now, the Frontier Constabulary has established a quarantine camp equipped with all the details that are required as well. Now, we've been joined on telephone line by Mr. Liaquat Shahwani, who's the spokesperson for the Balochistan government. Sir, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PTV World.
Thank you very much.
Right, sir, what can you tell us about the measures taken so far by the provincial government of Balochistan and also the suspect number of cases that you have also?
Well, the measure almost on 22nd Feb, Balochistan government, when this news of coronavirus broke out on media from Iran, that in Iran many people have died. So immediately Balochistan government took the notice and imposed emergency on border districts. Then we, next day Balochistan government imposed ban on entering Iran from Pak-Iran border. So these were measures initially we took. Then we arranged 35,095 masks, 25,000 surgical masks, thermal guns equipment, and we posted doctors on border areas. And also in IL, so appointed surveillance officers in each and every district at quarter hospital, 4 rooms, isolation rooms established. Then in Quetta, 2 major hospitals, 125 persons. We established isolation wards, isolation rooms, and ventilator facilities. Then established a quarantine center in Quetta on Pak Afghan border and Pak Iran border. In total, 18
Sir, let's talk about the facility that has been established in Zob as well. This is another effort definitely to develop an isolation center in order to curtail the disease in that particular area. Can you tell us the details about the facility in Zob? Right, there seem to be some technical difficulties there as well. Sir, can you hear me?
Hello.
Mr. Liaquat Shahwani back online with us once again. Of course, technical difficulties in between. We're just updating you about the latest of coronavirus inside Pakistan as well in terms of preventive measures and what the governments are doing as well. In terms of Balochistan, we know that the Frontier Constabulary has established a quarantine camp in Zob district as well, which has the facility required in order to isolate patients of the area as well. These are, of course, further efforts as part of different governments that are taking preventive measures in order to curtail the spread of COVID-19 in Balochistan. As we were just told by Mr. Liaquat Shahwani as well, that since the news broke out, emergency was imposed in border areas with Iran as well, and also different measures that the Balochistan government has taken to curtail the spread of COVID-19 in Balochistan. Right, we have Mr. Shahwani back as well. Sir, we were inquiring about the facility in Zob that has been just set up for quarantine purposes.
Well, in Zob, earlier we established one quarantine center, one isolation facility, also emergencies imposed in DHQ, Zob, masks, surgical masks, and 95 masks, PPE kits, doctor appointed there, and medicine have been provided. And also in Balochistan government, yesterday we have decided that in each and every district headquarter hospital, the medical superintendents and the director, they are authorized to procure medicines because Balochistan government has decentralized the entire administrative system of health department, and also fiscal decentralization have been authorities been granted. So they are procuring. We have done almost working on second phase. In second phase, in each and every district hospital, we are establishing 30 isolation facilities. Also on Chaman, the tented city of a well-established and well-equipped quarantine center for almost 1,000 persons is being established. In DHQ, Chaman, 10 rooms, isolation rooms have been established. Balochistan government has produced a list of entire requirements regarding masks, surgical kits, and machines, PCR machines. We have dispatched to the federal government. Also yesterday, Balochistan government bought 2 PCR machines, which are operational now. Today we are expecting to get 1,000 kits, PCR kits from federal government. Also, we have placed for 2,000 kits order in private market. So these are all arrangements the Balochistan government is doing. Also yesterday, in an important meeting of core committee, which is added by Chief Secretary Balochistan, in that meeting, we decided that on every alternate days, this core committee will be conducting meetings and will be looking into each and every intricacies, and also will be updating and will be taking decisions. Yesterday we took decision that interprovincial transportation, inter-district transport, public transportation, that has been banned. Not only public, but buses and or entire transportation has been banned, and we have decided that restaurants will be shut down in first phase. Only takeaway services will be available. In each and every district commissioners have been directed to disinfect entire public places, offices. Also, 144 has been imposed on public huge gatherings. So these all corona-related urgency measures are being taken, and Balochistan government is on high alert. Yesterday, we decided we created a corona fund, and Balochistan government has allocated 1 billion rupees in that fund. Also, have requested to the donors to come forward and contribute in that corona fund, and these all money will be utilizing in coping with the challenges of corona. Also, Balochistan government has decided yesterday that the low-income person, the poor person, the people, they are going to daily wages. We are going to arrange ration packages for them. This is one of the important decisions which we took yesterday. And as you know, schools are closed up to 5th. And in many the revenue offices and SNJD administrative offices, they are now shut. Sorry, they are now off. Also, a public awareness campaign. We are working on that. Recently, 20 minutes earlier, Chief Minister Balochistan in the CM Secretariat himself, he has invited people from all of walks of life in CM Secretariat, and himself he gave a speech regarding the awareness campaign regarding the precautionary measures people have to take, in which the hand wash, use of sanitizer, and also the people should be keeping distance and the use of mask. So these all public awareness campaign, and these are tactics corona-related. Well, CM himself he addressed the people and requested the people to try, because there is no virus and no medication yet so far innovated to cope for treatment of corona. So the only measure which any country could take, that is preventive measures, and we are also working on those preventive measures.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Liaquat Shahwani, spokesperson for the Balochistan government, who gave us the entire spectrum in where we know what the Balochistan government is doing. As well, as far as the government of Punjab is concerned, we also know about reported cases in Punjab as well, and the steps taken by the Punjab government in order to curtail the spread of COVID-19 as well. Now, for further details on the province of Punjab, we'll be joined by our correspondent from Lahore, Ali Zamran Danish. Ali, what latest details can you tell us about the number of cases in the entire province of Punjab, and what steps are being taken so far?
Well, the confirmed cases now stand at 26, and all over the country they stand at 239. This was the information which was shared during a very important meeting, recent meeting, which took place which was headed by Chief Minister of Punjab, Sardar Usman Buzdar. He and the Corps Commander Lahore and other military leadership, along with Provincial Health Minister Dr. Yasmin Rashid, were part of this high-level meeting. Punjab cabinet members, other members of the Punjab cabinet also attended the meeting, and it was decided that at least 1 billion rupees will be given to the Punjab Health Services to deal with the infection and to decrease, to fight the spread of coronavirus. It was also decided that checkpoints will be made at all entry points of Punjab, where people are coming in, and they will be screened if they are infected with the COVID-19 virus. It was also decided that 5,000 people they have been under quarantine at Multan, Gujranwala, and other cities of Punjab, and they said that they will be moved to better facilities as well. And there were also discussions on how more doctors and resources might be given, transferred to Taftan to fight the people coming from across the border from Iran, as Sindh has the highest rate.
Thank you so much, our correspondent Ali Zamran Danish, giving us the latest of details from Punjab, where 26 cases, he says, have been reported to test positive for COVID-19 so far in Punjab alone.
Now, Ahmedabad traffic police are distributing face masks among drivers, conductors and passengers at the city entrance checkposts. As a precautionary measure in the background of coronavirus scare, the city police gave away the face masks free of cost.
International financial institutions have pledged to collectively provide $588 million to Pakistan to combat COVID-19. It was promised in a meeting between Deputy Chairman Planning Mohammad Jahazeb Khan and directors of World Bank and Asian Development Bank. The fight against this deadly virus continues on a global scale, as we know that international financial institutions have pledged to provide $588 million to Pakistan. Funds will be provided for the establishment of isolation centers across Pakistan, besides additional equipment which will also be provided to fight this epidemic.
Now, Foreign Office spokesperson Aisha Faruqi has said Pakistan is concerned over coronavirus cases in occupied Kashmir and urges India to end the lockdown there. She urged India to end communication blackout in the occupied valley. She said Pakistani officials held video interaction with students in Wuhan and assured them of all facilitation. Speaking about President Arif Alvi's visit to China, she said President visited China on invitation of his Chinese counterpart. During the visit, 2 MOUs for cooperation in various fields were signed.
Press freedom in occupied Kashmir is under a serious threat from security forces. The International Press Institute has said in a report, raising concerns about the condition of journalists in the disputed Muslim-majority region. The global media watchdog urged India's Hindu nationalist government to end restrictions and harassment of journalists placed following revocation of the region's special status in occupied Kashmir. More details are definitely coming up, but right after this short break. Stay tuned.
What are the symptoms of coronavirus? The most common symptoms of COVID-19 are fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath. These symptoms may not be sudden, rather begin gradually. Precaution, not panic.
There are several practical measures you can take to protect yourself from the new coronavirus. One of the most important is regular, safe, and effective hand hygiene, using soap and water or alcohol-based hand rub. Here are the steps recommended by WHO to follow. You too can have safe and clean hands anywhere. Now I'm calling on the world to take the WHO Safe Hands Challenge to be ready for coronavirus.
Welcome back, and now further news. Pakistan has categorically rejected Indian propaganda against China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, terming it a desperate attempt to falsify facts and mislead the world community. In a statement, Foreign Office spokesperson Aisha Farooqi said Indian remarks about the joint statement issued by Pakistan and China following President Dr. Arif Alvi's visit to Beijing are contrary to facts. She said remarks made by the Indian Ministry of External Affairs calling Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir an integral part of India are a clear violation of the relevant UN Security Council resolutions. The spokesperson said Jammu and Kashmir is the oldest unresolved dispute on the agenda of the UN Security Council and international community.
Now, Prime Minister Imran Khan reviewed the steps taken to prevent coronavirus outbreak during his visit to Dera Ghazi Khan. During the visit, he was briefed about the arrival of Zaireen and steps taken for their screening to check coronavirus, residents, food and drinking facilities, and the command and control room in Dera Ghazi Khan. The Prime Minister directed the Punjab government to take every possible step to provide best facilities to general public regarding prevention from coronavirus. He said that provision of screening facilities should be ensured to daily wages in all panagahs across the province. He directed to inform the general public about arrangements and steps taken by the government in controlling the situation. The Prime Minister warned that strict action would be taken against hoarders and illegal profiteers for exploiting the situation. The Prime Minister also visited the quarantine centre at DG Khan and inquired about the Zaireen staying there. Zaireen expressed happiness on the arrival of Prime Minister and satisfaction over the facilities being provided to them.
Special Assistant to Prime Minister on National Health Services, Dr. Zafar Mirza, has said federal government, provinces and all stakeholders are working on war footing for safety and well-being of people of Pakistan. In a statement, Dr. Mirza said all resources are mobilized and measures taken for prevention and mitigation. He advised the citizens to clean hands regularly with an alcohol-based hand rub or wash them with a soap, besides cleaning surfaces regularly with recommended disinfectants. He also asked the citizens to avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth with contaminated hands and practice respiratory hygiene by coughing or sneezing into a bent elbow or tissue and then immediately dispose of. He said citizens should wear a medical or surgical mask if they had respiratory symptoms and perform hand hygiene after disposing of the mask. He asked to maintain a minimum of mandatory 1 meter distance from individuals with respiratory symptoms. He asked healthcare workers to select and use appropriate personnel protective equipment.
World Health Organization has appreciated the effective and timely measures taken by Pakistani government to deal with emerging threats of coronavirus. This was stated by Special Assistant on Information and Broadcasting Dr. Firdaus Ashikawan in an interview with PTV News. She assured that federal government will implement the suggestions and proposals given by provincial governments to cope with COVID-19.
Now, Special Assistant to the Prime Minister, Dr. Firdaus Ashikawan, has also said that the Prime Minister Imran Khan has directed the Punjab Chief Secretary and Inspector General of Police to identify the elements involved in hoarding and profiteering and take strict action against them. In a tweet, she said that the Prime Minister has directed the administration to expose the hoarders and profiteers who are striving to take advantage of the prevailing situation. The Special Assistant said Prime Minister chaired a meeting in Dera Ghazi Khan to review the measures being taken for prevention of coronavirus outbreak in Punjab. She said Imran Khan has instructed Punjab government to provide the best facilities to the general public for coping with COVID-19. She said Prime Minister is also directed to provide facilities to daily wage earners along with screening arrangements.